Sorry, I just realized you guys can hear like all desktop sounds, not just the music. I'm chatting with someone in Discord right now. Give me a second. I hope I'm coming through loud and clear. Maybe the music is too loud even. I mean, that's not going to be playing the whole time. I'm talking with Mitch right now. His teeth exploded apparently. I got it repaired, but the dentists are trying to... Well, I can't read that. The rest of that message to the public without permission, at least. That wouldn't be very kind. Subscribe. Thank you. Ifty? Most certainly. Yo, my guy, please make yo game available on Mac OS. Maybe, eventually. Once everything is mostly finished. That might be something I could look at. While RPG Maker has sort of a functional export. Is that the word? A thing? Sorry, let me put my face right up on here. I got it. Might as well use it. Hello, everyone. Is that working correctly? Yes. Hello, everyone. I mean, I'm supposed to look not directly at the camera. That's a bad idea. I'm sorry. I lost complete track of the messaging that I was responding to. Mac, yes. So RPG Maker has a way to export to Mac, I think. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I can't test it, so that's the main barrier there. I do not own a Mac. I do not own any Apple machines, any Adeptus Mechanicus sent sort of Macintoshes. I think those are the three different ways to say those things. Those Forrest Gump stock investment scene fruit companies. I don't own one, so I wouldn't be able to test to make sure that everything worked well, and I don't want to take people's money if the machine is going to not run my game at least with an 80% guarantee. I can't promise 100%. No man can promise 100%. Or if they can, I'm not doing that because I don't have the care to guarantee 100%, but I can get to 80%. I think. I would just need to, if not own a Mac, probably not. Have a friend that owns one that I can test on. But every friend I know that might own a Mac, where they have an Apple iPhone, you know what I'm saying there? They got the little call me later thing. They use Linux computers. So I'm not sure what the catch there is, but that's a bit of a perhaps a different ramble, a different rant. Will the game run on Commodore 64? You know, I'm not too sure about that. Oh my, hey, this is Ezekiel. Ezekiel, if you want to like call in, co-host, whatever guest call, you just let me know. It's no worries. This is a very unorganized stream. I don't have much to show here other than what I'm working on today. I figured today had no spoilers, nothing crazy, so I'm just making the HUD, the new HUD. That's slang for heads-up display for anyone that isn't in the know. Anyone that is a savage barbarian living on the frontier of civilization. That is what that means. Yeah. Any such cases. Whoa, Siri, hey, welcome. Rather under the weather today, next time, that's what they all say. I don't want to hear it. I don't ever want to hear the next invite, nothing. Bismarck is coming? Alright, well, I mean, the music isn't meant to play all the time, as much as I love Hostosis. Fantastic work on his regard. Just going to turn that music off. We're going to turn that thing off. We're going to turn it from 100 to 0. My hand isn't in full view of the frame. 100, 0. Maybe that's more 0 over there. That's how that's going to work. What else is there to say? You guys are muted. You guys can't hear my music. That's what I'm trying to say. So I can play my own music without getting copyright struck. Fantastic. I'm going to play Hall & Oates right now. You You guys cannot hear that. So I hope not. Second. Why can I not hear it? What's the problem here? Why can I not hear my music? Oh, there we go. Okay. So you guys don't get to hear that. I mean, let's just get into it, right? There's not too much stuff to show. To call in. I'm telling Mitch that stream and okay. I didn't show you guys the thing. I just realized, right? That's what's the problem is right now. There we go. I mean, this is RPG Maker. Though I probably destroyed it beyond recognition, so don't use it too much as a main reference of how development here usually works. I mean, what is there to show? So you can see here, these are all the sprites of the town. I know I'm not showing the HUD right now, but I guess I might as well show. These are just normal sprite sheets, but thanks to a plugin, they display very cool, very 3D, very Paper Mario-esque. I am much more limited than Paper Mario. I can't make like different elevations really. At least I can't make it look natural and good. I just realized you guys can't see what I'm working on. That's so funny. Okay, there we go. Okay, well, you don't have to make that screen necessarily. What? I changed both the window captures? Are you insane? Why would you do that? I only want one window capture to change. Window capture 2. That's what we're going to work with now. Okay, okay. Haven't used RPGM in 10 plus years. I mean, I don't know if I would recommend it for what I'm using it for, frankly, even. But we are where we are. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Let's see. I mean, so you see here, that's everything. Thanks to text pictures, which is one of the built-in sort of things I'm able to display that. These are all pictures. This is all eventing because I don't want to disparage a guy so much, especially a guy that made the a plugin version of it available for free, but the HUD plugin that I was using before had severe memory leak issues. It basically the old HUD, it would recreate it. It would clone it every single time you change the map, and it would keep updating the invisible clones. Why? I don't know. So after 50 map transfers, and that's why the game slows down over time, it's updating 50 separate instances of the HUD, which is, I mean, that's something you would do if you were trying to brick everyone's computer. I don't know why it would ship like that. And I've heard that the problem is present as well with the Pro version, which is paid, which I did not use, but kind of thankful that I didn't. So that's where we are at right there. But I mean, that's what it looks like right now. So show you HUD. It doesn't show. I don't want to display like my private stuff. But it looks like I might have to. It's just being very mean. Then the crop here is going to be kind of stupid, but we are where we are at. Okay, but now you guys can see like what I'm looking at here. This is pretty much the entire common event that runs the HUD. It just activates with a switch. If you are going to do something like this, you need to make it wait a frame because the parallel loop will just go over and over. And if you don't have it wait as it loops, it's going to break people's computers. I know that's going to be kind of the stock phrase of the night, but that's very important. You don't want to brick people's computers, especially when they took the trouble to play your goofy little game. You know, that's Can't say that word. Can't say that word, but you know what I'm saying. That would just, you don't want to do this to the player. You don't want that would be bad. That would be very rude. Especially if they're paying. So that's what's the point? What's the point then? That would suck, right? No one likes that. You pay for a service and you just, at the end of the night, that sucks. Very unpleasant. Some Bronze Age shit. Lip smack. SFX. All right, there we go. RPGM can do 2.5D stuff. Yeah, thanks to one guy's plugin. I would not have figured this out on my own. He was a genius, frankly. Let me show you. Yeah, Ultra Mode 7 by Boris Blizzard Mikic. That's Serbian. It's some kind of Balkan name. But thank you very much to him. He is a tremendous credit to the Balkan people, especially on the internet. Fantastic. Could not do this otherwise. This is all thanks to him that it does that 2.5D look. Fantastic guy. I would not have figured it out. That's badass and incredibly efficient. What are you talking? Are you talking about the loop that it waits? Yeah. VTuber hero? I mean, I got my cat thing, but well, it's not going to show because it hates me. That's the problem there. Yeah, that's what I usually use, the little cat thing. I like him. Just didn't feel like it today, I suppose. That's all there is with that. But I mean, we can combine it. We live in an insane world, don't we? Might as well double up on this. Yeah. I mean, you can see he's triggered by my voice when or to whatever audio source I have him linked to. The cat will go. That's what he does. Just join. What is going? What are you hacking the mainframe? I am working in RPG Maker. The work is kind of the quote unquote here. But anyways, let me walk you through the HUD thing. There's a lot of things I could show you. As you can see here, there's a common event for like almost everything. The shop. There's a lot of things I can show. Let's just do the HUD. So this is a plugin that ships with the game if you have a certain version. Very cool text picture that's made by a nice little Japanese man. Not little, giant Japanese man. A fantastically large Leviathan Japanese man made this plugin. It's very kind of him. It's fantastic. Very thankful to what he did here. Simple as that. Port string, it's a variable. You can use strings with RPG Maker. That's kind of a common misconception that does not work. I can show you guys right now how that works because that's going to be a lot of the elements here, in case anyone is figuring that out. So you notice there's not a lot of options sometimes for maybe what you're specifically looking at. To make a string, instead of doing this, it's a stupid little number. You just go, I mean, what should I type? It could be anything. It could be anything. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. So with that in mind, that variable is now set to that string. So when I do this, for the port location, it displays that until it like alt tabs out because it hates me. But that's basically this entire HUD. It's just these pictures. It's the text turning into pictures, which most other engines, I believe, would use some sort of bit mapping feature. Maybe this is also a bit mapping feature. I'm using words I don't really fully understand either. And you can see it is 0, because the game is not initialized. These are all common events. Gotta get this fellow out of here. Put him on my shoulder. Oh, that doesn't really. That's fine. Yeah. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. Nothing complicated. It's just a lot of tedium. That's programming, essentially. It's a lot of tedium. So these are all different pictures. I have it set. So this is interesting. You can actually combine and concatenate strings, which from the little program I know, that's the word, concatenate, something along those lines. By doing this, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. It grabs the variable value, and if they're both strings, I mean, they don't even have to be both strings, but they can be, and this makes them one thing. So that creates the letter, not the letter. I'm sorry, the date when it works. Okay, when it's not working right now because I'm working through this. Is it inefficient that this thing runs every half second? Yeah. Will I adjust that later? It depends if people's computers are exploding. Maybe the HUD does not need to update every 30 seconds. It probably doesn't. But as of right now, that's what it is. So that's what we're working with. Excellent game. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much for trying it. I very much appreciate it. Uh, I mean, that's adept. There's really no reason to have a different variable to display the depth than the one that holds it. I'm just terrified that I'm going to end up changing something sometimes, so I get very paranoid, and I do that. And then yeah, with the text picture, there's a lot of like, text commands. This changes the outline width to be 0, which it doesn't actually do that. It seems like there's like always like a little bit like 0.1. It looks kind of ugly, but if you change it to kind of match the background, like here, it's not too hard. Which I believe this is the code for black. Yeah, it's a variable. That's variable 117, whatever that is, which is that display. That's how that works. As an ideas guy, is there a yellow pen mode to guide me from start to finish with minimal effort? I mean, RPG Maker is probably the best to like begin your conversion from idea guy to like man of use. It's kind of my own journey as well with this thing. Once you make your little RPG Maker game, you can move on to greener pastures because, I mean, this just teaches quite a bit about at least project management, stuff like that. Yeah, I recommend it. As a kid, I learned on Scratch. My school, my elementary school, had us play with Scratch after sort of enrichment. That was fun. I like that. One of my friends, I won't name him. He was a tall Oriental man, very similar to me, but he was tall and he had a block head, and he he made a Scratch game. Which, if you don't know what Scratch is, it's a very simplistic pseudocode sort of thing where you can just like put a picture on screen and say, if press space, picture goes right. And so he made a picture in MS Paint of him, of a man with a knife, and he made another picture in MS Paint of a woman, and he made it so that if you put the two pictures get put on screen when it compiles, and when you press space, the man with the knife smashes into the woman's sprite, and MS Paint spray paint red goes everywhere. And the teacher saw that, so he got he got in trouble. He had to go to detention. But that's one of my other distinct memories from Scratch, from using it in school. That was that was what that was. What version of Scratch were you using? School was 1.4. I don't remember. I'll be honest. I was in middle school, so it's probably around like 11, 12. I think it was last year, middle school. Oh, I just thought my computer was getting love nuked. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's a terrible thing to ship the demo with, even. But that's not going to be a problem. Just give me a few more days. I mean, the HUD is basically done. Frankly, I just need to do some like bars and gauges, the experience bar, and there's another one. Think. I'm talking to myself. I'm not berating everyone else. There's another one that I have to show. What is it? I don't remember. Excuse me, I don't remember. I'll remember it by the end of the day. It's gonna happen. But so the HUD is basically done. It's just a matter of making sure like the game actually like functions with it, like it's not covering everything. Because I did this cool thing, right? I added this. Skip this. Get out of my face. Yeah, it's just making sure that this entire border isn't covering anything important, which, I mean, the first test with that is the speaking. You can see here. This, I mean, it's going to be fine. The hearts are going to be covered, as you see. That's going to have to be moved. I've just remembered that. I have to write down a note of that because if I forget, I will go insane. Hearts have to be moved. But more than that, when we get into the shopping screen, what's covered, right? We got to check that. It's okay. I mean, that's all right. Yeah, I think that's okay. It's a little compact. It's a little busy, maybe. Right? We could move the window on the left. I have to point looking at the camera. We could move that maybe down. We could maybe move it even out of the way completely if the shop screen comes on. We could even just crop a little bit here, right? It doesn't look like there's that much kind of missing. I just realized it's missing the cargo hold from the status window, which might not be the most essential stat, but it matters. Cargo hold stat, like how much you have on your ship and how much you don't. Just realize that's missing that. Okay, so we'll add that. Big worries. But it works, right? That's all. I think it's functioning. I can buy something like usual. Oh, now this is cool. You see, it shakes. The gold. And I can show you too. The supply thing is also coded so that it will shake when it's consumed. That's new. It's not actually something I could have done before with the old one, at least not easily. I can show you how it works too in the actual code. So you see here, supplies are going to consume. That's going to shake it, shook it. Isn't that cool? And how does that work? I can show you. It's one of the common events that gets called by a switch. Yes, here. So I just have to remember by writing it down that is the picture that is holding the text for supplies. And I just have it shake manually. And when it's done, so to call it, I just like put this somewhere and I go like on, and that makes it shake. And you have to make sure when it's done shaking that it turns off. Otherwise, you just added another parallel process, another potential way to nuke someone's computer. Not good. Not good. Very unpleasant. No one likes that. But yeah, I have to do it for the crew and the hull still. Now the gold is interesting because what that does is instead of manually calling it, because I would have to replace a lot of things in the game every time the gold changes, I just have it check when the gold changes. So this will always remember when the gold was checked at the last tick, which is about, half frame. I mean, not a half frame, about half a second, every 30 ticks. That updates to be the last time the gold was changed. So when the new current gold is compared to the gold when the last time it was checked, and that's different, it sends a signal to shake it because the value has changed for whatever reason, right? So a little visual feedback, that's nice. Visual feedback's good for the player, especially when there's a lot of numbers jumping around. There's no reason to sort of make their life worse than it has to be when they play this game. It's all about quality of life. I mean, is there anything else to really show with this? I mean, let me just why don't we just start on the cargo limit, right? Let's go ahead and do that. So cargo limit's a bit tricky because it's a lot of variables jumping around. Now, if I recall, total item quantity will help a lot with this. Yeah, so this is a common event that I run every time it needs to calculate how much weight is in the player's inventory. Because I just realized weight is kind of a thing that a lot of people use plugins for. I tried a few plugins to create a weight system, an inventory system. They didn't ever really do exactly what I needed to do, so I just went to eventing it in the long run. And quite simply, it's just every item I feel that has to be weighted is weighted. It's added to both the quantity of how much you have of it, but also the weight current, right? And and it includes the smuggled variants. And since the player can upgrade their weight, that's the weight bonus stat. But otherwise, the base weight is 15 of how much a player can hold. When the player has too much, that's what this checks for. If weight current is over weight limit, then it disables your movement and it forces you to throw things out using a variant of the shopping menu, which doesn't use money. But there it is. That way, when I need to edit the shopping menu or the interface to move things, I don't have to make I don't have to worry about things breaking too much in that regard. That's how I do it. And then I have to make sure, of course, to let the player move again after this is done. I also have a common window for the curtain. Check if it's down, check if it's up. Cover the player's vision, big ROM. Leave an event. But yeah, just getting back into it. I came here because I wanted to find these values because I forgot them. So off the top of my head. So go back into HUD, cargo limit. So now we see here that weight current is set to index 969, which is how variables in RPG Maker work. You don't really type them out. They're all set in a gigantic array, essentially. I don't know if it's like literally an array, but that's how it feels like. So even if you know weight current, it's still going to be very hard to find unless, right click, find. But that's one of the drawbacks of RPG Maker when you're really getting into sort of this pseudocode thing. It just is very strict sometimes like that regard. Knowing that Maine might be dateable in the future makes me happy when I smuggle cigars to Baltimore. But anyways, so cargo limit. What do we do? Upper left. 22. This goes in the multiples of 30, so 290. This will then display whatever I put in here, which we're doing. Going crazy. Cargo. How did I have it before? Let's check how it looked before, because I'm starting to forget. I've looked at screens all day, starting to lose my mind. So yeah, I worked in Clip Studio for all these little different assets. That's how it looks. These are the bars. I still have the duties. They're a little more complicated because they have bars that move. The Mermaid too. So figure that out. It's the old one. Played it. Well, that's very helpful. It just says code, so I don't remember how it looked, but I think it said weight current out of weight limit. I think that's how it looked. But that's very helpful of me to do that to myself in the future. Oh, great. So we're just going to do cargo. V 969, right? Weight current 971. I mean, instead of out of, we can just do, a slash there. 971. And that's not initialized, so it's not really going to do much if I run it here. I have to manually run the game, I think, where it initializes all the variables for me to really see that properly. Yeah. Okay. You see that? I updated a little late. Figured that out. You see there? 10 out of 15. That is the players. Actually, we test this out by upgrading it as well. Oh, wait, I don't have wampum. I can't test that. Okay, never mind. I'll do that later. Yeah, that works. I mean, I just might want a different color. I mean, green is associated with the cargo, right? That's not really something we have to eliminate. Something I can do is you can put icons in text messages. I'm pretty sure I have one in here. Of these. I click insert icon index. Which one was it? It's for cargo. General concept. Could have sworn I had one. Doesn't look like there is one. That's great. I mean, theoretically I could use anything here. So for now, let's lose that little chest, right? Before I lose my mind, before I lose my marbles. That'll probably bring that in here. Will the game end once you pay to 100k depth, or will it be a free play mode after that? Thanks, Pass Hero. Well, I almost doxed my friend. That's one of my hometown friends. I almost doxed his name. Yeah. So how it's planned right now is I'm taking a lot of inspiration from FTL, Faster Than Light. If you ever played that, I want the game to kind of just be a run that doesn't go in too long. It's going to be a full year. So in this game, that's 16 weeks because it's only 4 months, right? They're abstracted the seasons. So 16 weeks, 4x4. The game ends on week 16. I might include an endless mode after that. But yeah, by week 16, the depth is paid. And each month, ideally, if I have the time, we'll have a very different mood issue to solve. Like the war breaks out more, it intensifies as time goes on. There's more time to story quests of things to do. Combat becomes more of a thing without getting into spoilers, and also because plans are in flux. By week 16, you will have to destroy some sort of final boss in combat, which if you trade it very well, that will be very helpful to you because you'll have a lot of money to upgrade your ship to face that monster or that ship at the end. And that's basically when the game would end. Calculates out if you romance anyone, and then that would play the last scene there, and maybe some Fallout style slides of the what happened, what factions you might have chose, which right now it's going to be loyalists and patriots. Maybe in the future I'll include more factions. I don't really. That's not the focus right now. That's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, that's how the game is structured as of right now in the design format. Are you see there? It's got the little treasure chests. I'll figure that out later. That works. It drops really ugly scroll bars. There we go. That's how it's supposed to look with the knife and everything. You see? You're a person, not a cat. Both, I guess. All right, 1 second. Sorry, give me just a moment. I have to look at some messages, and I'm not showing all my messages. Let's see. Stand. Sake of privacy of multiple individuals. So I want a new song. Andy the Rodeo Clown. Now that's a good one. Not for you. I'm listening to it. All right, so bars, spitting, bars, or generating bars. That's where things get a little tricky because there's a few plugins that help with that. But if I put in a plugin now, there's a chance that I'm going to brick people's saves. So maybe that, while I might do that, it's better to avoid it if you can. If you can event it without too much hassle, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. Oops. Oops. So give me just a second here. I have to separate out these bars. So for now, we'll do the suspicion bar. That's going to be a lot easier because I hope it's going to be a lot easier. A man can dream. Who fucking knows? Let's not swear. I forgot. I swore. Let's see. So the suspicion bar, I will save that as its own thing. Oh, suspicion meter BG background. That's what that means. Oh, that it's gonna be up to the bar itself. Just gonna label that as bar suspicion meter bar. All right, now with that in mind, I think I can show again. This is working. 228. So we're gonna move on to 229. Or I mean, let's skip ahead a little. 230, just in case there's gonna be a little range. So what do we start with? We start with the suspicion meter bar. No, the background. That's what we start with. Where the hell is it? Okay, there it is. Why is it tiny? Okay. I guess we can still. No. Okay, I'm gonna adjust it right now. I don't know why it was like that. Let's see. Some privacy, folks. You look like you hack for the government, not draw cute. Just because someone's wearing a black turtleneck and using a computer does not mean they're from Mission Impossible movies. Though I appreciate the compliment. Let's see. So scale it up by 3. Realized I was doing that with all the sort of pixely assets to kind of keep them pixelated. This bar will also be changed to 3x. Ideally, that should work. I should be not going insane after that. Right? That's too big. Oh, I'm supposed to 2x, not 3x. 2x, not 3x. 2x, not 3x. I'm going crazy. Crazy taxi. In English, Einstein? Alright, so I have to redo this entire process all over again because I did it wrong. And that's going to be a common thing if you do any sort of project, especially in game development. You're going to have something and then you're going to realize, ooh, I did it wrong. Okay, perfect. That's a whole day of wasted work. 2x. That's how big this has to be. Suspicion meter G. And then we need the bar by itself, which you guys can't see, but I'm not going to stop that just to show you guys. Almost done. I can promise that. Okay. Now, this should all be correct. That's wrong. That's completely wrong. That is not the size it's supposed to be. That's the size it's supposed to be. Now, where are we putting the suspicion meter? I don't know. Are you going to eventually add a map to the game? Yes, eventually. Just not sure exactly how. I'm going to have it display. I'm thinking it's going to be like Mario, like the world map selection there, you know what I mean? Where it pulls up a screen, it's a picture, and then you just press up and down and it goes through the different like locations that have a name, and maybe it'll display some more useful information on top of that, right? Who knows? Who knows? But that's going to be kind of the basics. Otherwise, what I've been telling people is just get a map of the US states. You'll be all right. That's pretty much all you need. If you need to find the state capital or location of a port, just look up the states. You got it. Just a map of all the states too. You don't have to do it individually. The little PNG tucked away right next to you to your side. You'll be all right. You'll be okay. Any more Virginia, bro? Yes, eventually. I would like to draw a lot of the sprites to be more expressive, like their emotions, so they're not just like the face changes. Like I want them to be more. But that's more of a want and not really a need when it comes to the project for me as well right now. So I got to figure that out later on. Yes, great. You have to write down where everything is, or you just pull up a map, man. Just get a PNG. Why'd you write that? Why are you reinventing Lewis and Clark's wheel? Why are you? You didn't think of using IRLs? No, I'm not bullying you. I'm sorry. I'm. It's very amusing that you did that. I think it speaks to a lot of your work ethic, frankly. And instead of just pulling up a map on Google Images or something like that, you took a cartography course and you reinvented what Lewis and Clark did. That's impressive, man. But yeah, you didn't have to go through that effort. But that is cool. Anyways, we're working with this right now. Sorry. All right, upper left. So you see there, that's going to be the background bar. The background, not bar, background suspicion meter. And then we have the bar. And what do we do with the bar? What do we do with the bar? Displays properly and doesn't want to be evil. I would be able to see it. I can't see it because it's being evil. Then I have to manually calculate how many pixels are. Ooh! I have to calculate how many pixels I'm working with here. So, that's 2 pixels offset, right? No, it's 4 because it's doubled. This is doubled. That's not a single pixel each. So that's 4 pixels. Remember that. And from here, what is that? 34. It says it on the bottom. I didn't have to read all that manually. So what does that mean? This means this just has to be offset by 1064 plus 34. So just use a calculator. 64 plus 34. 1098. I was pretty close, frankly, just eyeballing it. And this will just be 16 plus 4, 20. And now that bar, if we want to test it out here, will be completely lined up. It's not lined up at all. Look at that. That's awful. What did I do wrong? 37? 36? Oh, because it's got a little, there's a border. 36, so 20, 22. And this, make it 100, and then it'll be lined up. Yeah, there we go. See, perfect. That's lined up. Now, what I can have this thing do is based on how much suspicion you have, it scales itself height-wise. And there's a way of doing that in this engine even, using script. And that's kind of cool. I don't remember exactly how to do it, so we're going to pull up a recent other common event that can help out with that. And that's probably going to be the card game. Just give me a second, I have to find it. Why am I scrolling here? I can just... Roman. Okay. Card. All right. Well, because I typed things awfully, it's not going to work. So we're just going to have to manually find it. But oh, World Conquest. I just did this token. So this is definitely going to have a show picture sort of event thing somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe I tricked myself. Here we go. So with this script, copy paste it into here. This will take over. This does. Game variable. Okay. Show picture. Position 2, 3, 1. At least I think that's what that is. I have to look this up. Give me a second. RPG Maker, script, show picture. To the forums. Show picture via script call. Okay, there we go. All right, commenting so I don't get that. What the hell's going on? This, when you're using script, each of those things needs a value. And you can see there, that's all the values. Opacity, all that jazz. So with that in mind, we can start. 2, 3, 1. This is like picking a file, which I just realized I'm gonna have to remember. That is that just gonna be not Roman R? That would then be HUD suspicion meter R. Yeah, yeah, that's what that is. Okay. What is that number? That's the origin. I think that decides if it's upper left or centered, which for us it's going to be upper left, so that's probably going to be 0. Just guessing completely. X, we know X. What is X? You already calculated out. It's 1,122. What's the next number? Scale. Now this is where things get exactly what it has to be. The game variable value of suspicion. How much suspicion does a player have will now make the picture scale. Isn't that neat? The problem is I forgot what variable that was, so we're going to look it up. Chat, who's your state waifu? Mine's Maryland. I think she's cute. Wait, I talked with you. You said it was Louisiana Chan. Now you're changing your mind. Let's see. Let's see. I don't remember where I put this. 134. So if I remember right, that should be like 0 to 100. So that should be fine. So we know it's position 134 index-wise. So what does that mean? That means we need place to get game variables. I forgot. Game variable 0. That's wrong, right? 134. That is, yes. So now this means it's going to scale X. Wait, what? No, that's I hate the wrong thing. This is a scalar. So according to the value of suspicion a variable 134, 0 to 100, I think is how the game calculates it. It's going to be how wide this gets. 5, blend mode 0. Now, if I did that all right, I can have it randomize right here too. The value, let's pick like 20 to 90, right? Now we can see if we did this right, it's going to have some varied range. There we go. And we can check by pressing this thing and checking the variable 134. 62. That looks like a 62, right? And we can check again just to make sure. That looks like 89, something in that range, right? Check again. 89. There we go. That's how you can have a bar display according to a variable, as long as you have the assets all prepared and everything. So that's it. Suspicion meter, done. Now, mermaid. That's going to be harder. Why? Because the bar is vertical instead of horizontal. But there are options. GMaker does let us rotate an image to a certain point. So frankly, I might just edit the mermaid to be have a horizontal bar instead, because it would simplify things. So we'll see. He just had fresh look and changed him mind. Give him Patriot chain and changes again. So I mean, all together, I mean, if I do this, suspicion is going to be initialized to 0, so you're not going to see the bar, but that's also a test. See? So all together, really starting to get something. Here we go. Ignore the GeForce message. It's like harassing me. Suspicion meter. So now that's all that's missing is the mermaid on the bottom. For you guys, it's pointing the other way. Oh, right there, yeah. It's going to be a little more rule to work with. Yeah. Okay. So, this in mind, we got the mermaid here. How do we do this? So the mermaid is hard because it's going to be 3 pictures, actually. It's got to be the mermaid. It's got to be the bar or background, and it's got to be the bar in between these 2 images, which I haven't prepared yet. So we're going to do that right now. Some really ugly anti-aliasing here. I don't care though, so we'll figure that out later. So here, we're going to just use a color. It's green. Where do we want this, the bar to begin? Around here. I want it to be visible, right? So theoretically, if the player fills this bar, or none, we'll go all the way up here. And so that's the bar. So we're going to use in a lot of ways. Figure things out. Do you have acid spray? I do. It's not bad, but well, it's not bad. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just very comfortable in Clip Studio. I know it like the back of my hand at this point, right? So it's just quicker for me to work in, even if it's not necessarily maybe the most efficient over time. That's how that goes. All depends on what you work fastest in, I suppose. Wait, does it have to be 2 separate images? It does, because the bar will cover the mermaid. this has to be its own image as well. Yeah. Yeah. I think. I'm going crazy. Okay, so let's just not mess with the outer mermaid image. Mermaid B1. In case we have to go back to things, you don't want to overwrite them, right? Because then you go insane. Die. You will go crazy. Mermaid B3. And then we have the bar, which you can just crop towards it with the what we are. Mermaid B2 bar. Now we can like add some dithering to this. We could do all sorts of cool things to it. We're not gonna do that right now because we don't have time. But we could. Might do it later, who knows? Okay, so next up, mermaid experience. So mermaid 2, 3, 3. Because 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. 2, 3, 2. That's what we'll do here. And with that in mind, where's the mermaid? She's not scaled. She's not scaled. Ah! None of these characters are scaled appropriately. Classic rookie mistake. Send him to the coal mines. Useless. Hello, Hero Tonfa. I really love your game. Really love Wish You Could Look and everything. Well, thank you very much, Red Otaku. Discord message showed? Really? Uh-oh. I hope did Mitch say an oh word? Oh, he did not say a no word. Well, isn't that nice? We live in a very nice world right there where he did not say an uh-oh word. Why would RPG Maker display my Discord messages at all, even? Is it retarded? Is it stupid? Well, that's my Discord's fault, I guess, right? It's not really. It's fuck. This thing's. Oh, wait, I gotta go pick up my wife soon. Oh my god. I remember. I will. You won't be able to hear Mitch for very long, but that's okay. Hello, Mitch. Give me just a second. I have to turn things down. I actually have to leave in like 15 minutes, but what a great occasion.
That works.
Yeah, we can still chat for 15 minutes. You're live though, so don't say anything crazy.
Oh, okay.
How you doing, man? You I mean, I don't know if you want to share the details of what happened to you.
My tooth exploded. It's all right.
So, how do we fix that? What's going on there, big guy?
I went to the dentist. They bonded it. They're trying to screw me out of like $2,000. I went to the dentist. They bonded it and they filled the giant cavity from. I like to take especially sugary sweets and I would nestle them in the cusp of that tooth specifically and just let them sit there for hours. Anyway, they filled the cavity and they bonded the tooth. And they were like, "Okay, cool, sign this." And I had to sign a thing. And I was under anesthetic, not like knockout anesthetic, but still. And it's like, okay, we're going to give you a crown, just not today. And I'm like, why? And they're like, because the bonding won't last more than like 3 years. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, so they're trying to screw me into paying for a crown, and then it feels like they're going to try and screw me into doing a root canal, and it's just going to be this like step up machine where they get like $2,000 more each time. So I'm just not going to pay. I think I'm just not going to pay. I'm getting sick and tired of. I think I'm getting izzotted by the dentist, and I'm just not gonna pay, and I'm gonna reclaim my izzot honor. So,
can a white boy get a little izzot?
The general manager called me and she was like, "Did you actually get a crown?" And I was like, "No, that's why I'm not paying for the crown." And she was like, "Oh, well, we can schedule up a follow-up appointment." So I did that, but I'm not going to go. I'm going to go to a different dentist, get a second opinion, one that can speak English and doesn't show up drunk. And
Your dentist showed up drunk to the operation?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like that serious of a thing, but yeah, he showed up drunk. And it was the day after Christmas, so I do kind of understand. But like, you know.
Only to a certain point. Yeah, I understand.
Right. And so, it doesn't matter that much. I'm just not going to pay. And I encourage everyone else to do that too. Get a second opinion. The other dentist already said, like, if your tooth is feeling fine and it's not sensitive to hot or cold, getting a crown doesn't really make that much sense. And I was like, I agree. And so, it doesn't matter that much. I don't want to interrupt your dev process too much.
It's fine. It's already been off the rails. I realized I was like cleaning my nose on camera, so that's disgusting. Oops.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no.
Turtleneck's looking good. I like it.
Oh, thank you. I thought it made me look a little, Usually I'm like, but now this makes me go like, oh, I heard. You know what I'm saying?
Like a Minecraft villager. Yeah, now you're a proper Minecraft villager. Fuck you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when are we streaming Minecraft? Is that the next big thing?
We can do whatever. We can do whatever. Yeah.
I think the game's like going to be quite popular.
I don't know. Yeah, we can do that whenever. I got my laptop fixed before RAM prices spiked too, so that I'm going to be traveling a lot in 2026. So it'll be.
What happened?
I have a mobile setup. There's just a lot of stuff that needs to be done, and I can't stay in the castle too long, so to speak. I got to venture out and get that kill dragons and shit and kill people, mostly people.
Venture Brothers reference.
Yes.
There's going to be a tooth exploding storyline in American Revolution Smuggler.
It did happen for no reason, which was really. I wish it isn't. This is the first time I've had like a tooth like crack in half and just fall to pieces, like literally. I don't even get cavities, so it was like pretty shocking, and that was the scary part. But looking back, it was really funny to just be sitting down, and I like took a bite of like soft pizza, and then I was like, there's some kind of weird hard sand in this pizza, and then I look in the mirror, and like just half of my tooth is missing. And I was like, oh. Yeah.
I'm sorry you had such a unfun.
That was my Christmas. I couldn't see my family because I was still sick, and then I had to help my brother move the next day.
EXP.
I hope people legitimately think I'd like to rest and nuzzle sugary food into my teeth and just let it sit there for like hours on end. That's really funny. That's a form of peeing, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you're a big fan of Ray Pete. I remember that.
Yeah. The funny thing is, he does advocate for eating highly processed, super sugary foods.
Mitch, how do I convert using math a number that isn't a percentage of 100 into a percentage of 100? What is the formula? I forgot. It's multiplying it by 100 and then dividing it by 100. No, that doesn't do anything.
Stupid. Yeah, that would be really dumb. What are you trying to convert into what? Just tell me and I'll do it.
Experience, right? So say it's 5,500.
Okay. And do you want that to be what, 100?
Yeah, like base 100 essentially.
5,500 already is base 100.
So what, just divided by 100?
Well, what do you...
So there's going to be a bar. The bar's maximum variable that I can display, or that I want to display, is 100. So I need the experience to be a abstract...
divide the number by 100, and then that will give you a, like, number. But you have to set a top. Like, the top of the bar, like, you have to... There has to be an upper limit so that you can get a fraction of 100.
Yeah.
5,500 is just a lot more than 100, so it would just go off of the bar. The bar would need to be set to like 5,501 to display the...
Well, this isn't about display. This is just about the pure math. I could figure out the display.
Well, what's the maximum that can be displayed on the bar?
The maximum display in the bar is infinite because it's a scale. I mean, it's like 100%, 110%. So I just have it go from 0% to 100% as a visual thing.
Right. But if there's no maximum, then how do you know what 100% is?
That makes sense. I see what you're saying now of the experience.
Yeah, you need to set.
Oh,
the
that
experience to, like,
varies.
10.
That's annoying that it varies. Oh, what did I do to myself?
You have to, because like if the maximum was 10,000, right, then 5,500 would be 55%. If the maximum is 100,000, then it's only 5.5%. So you need to know that maximum.
Yeah, and if you don't know that maximum, you're dead.
You can't. You just have a bar that'll keep growing essentially, and you can just set each unit to be a certain amount of pixel width. But yeah.
Man, this experience bar is not going to be done today. That's all I'm going to tell people now. This is. That's all I'm going to comment on that. I'll figure out the experience bar at a later date. I might even just have it show a number. Who cares? I might even just have.
It's why. So like, yeah, in most like RPGs, you have it just show a number, or it shows progress to the next level. That's how you distinguish your brackets.
Oh. I still need to know actually the maximum experience regardless. I can show the level, show the experience. How do I show the maximum experience before it goes up again? How does one do this?
And then you have your. It depends on if you're using an aggregating experience system or a fresh experience system. Basically, each time, do you reset at 0, or does it take the former number as the new base? So like if the first level is 0 to 2,500, if the next level is 0 to 3,000, or is it 2,500 to 5,500? And that's just, you have to distinguish that. But yeah.
Bro got cooked with the explanation beam. It cooked its nervous system for a few seconds. It's how people think. There's probably a way to check the variable that's set for the next ceiling of experience needed to level up, and I'm too brain dead to figure that out right now. But I'm gonna go pick up my family, and then I'm ending the stream here. And then Mitch, if you're free later, we can play some games together, all together. That'd be fun. Unless you're busy.
Sounds great. No, that sounds great.
All right. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know why I did that.